Alright y'all, good morning. I wanted to stream yesterday, but unfortunately the internet was down in the entire area, so there was no streaming, no nothing, unfortunately, so it is what it is. But today we're going to continue working on the homepage. I'm not sure how much we're going to get done. I got about an hour and a half like last time, so hopefully the music's not too loud. Last time I went through, I watched the stream back over, and the music you couldn't even hear really, so turn it up a little bit. And also I got not copyright strike, but claimed, so it's kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. So like I said, I think this was supposed to go to the homepage. If we go over to Twitter, I'm gonna try a lot harder this time not to accidentally do something that I don't want to show, but yeah, so this just goes to the homepage, and I don't know why it's loading all this stupid crap, but yeah, this goes to the homepage, this goes to the homepage, so on and so forth. It took a while yesterday to also get all of these different icons, but what we're gonna go and do now probably is start working on getting these laid out, and each one of these are like a link basically. And so yeah, so that's what we need to do next. I'm gonna pull this to the side because we don't necessarily need it right now. So we were here on the feed menu, and now the thing about this is that we're gonna have to, and this, now I just realized this should probably be a link, not a div. So the thing that we have to keep in mind is that this has to be dynamic, so this changes and stuff, so we got to be careful about that, but we'll figure that out. So this is going to go to /. I'm going to change this back to home because that's what Twitter uses. Well, I'll keep it at feed for now. It doesn't have to be exactly what Twitter uses, it doesn't matter that much. So yeah, we're gonna have to make this so we can basically hide some stuff, especially like the name and all of that stuff. But if I come back over to Twitter, I know you can't see Twitter right now, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of these, so we need 10 links. So I'll copy this. Ooh, do I want to wrap this in a div is the question. Let me look at this, because we have Yeah, we probably want to wrap this in a div. We'll call this a feed. Whoops. Div class name equal to feed dash menu dash tab dash item. And we'll wrap all of our links in these. And then this is what we'll do like this. And then in here, I can use a p tag. I want to be careful here because it breaks stuff. But according to Twitter, they use 20 pixels. And this is probably just like, this is a span, but we could probably just use a p tag. P tag, whoops. And I'll call this, what do I want to call this? I could just call this text or something. Ooh, and there looks like there's like, looks like if you select it, it goes bold. Let's see. Yeah, so if you select it, it goes bold. So that's going to be something we'll have to figure out as well. So we'll deal with that, I suppose. So we're going to have to figure out how the heck we're going to deal with making it bold. So that'll be interesting to figure out how to keep track of it being bold, but we'll figure it out. We can probably figure out which page we're on, because now that I think about it, this isn't only on the feed page. This is more of like every single page has this. So maybe what we could do is be like, this feed menu, we can check to see what page we're on, and then depending on what page we're on, we'll add a certain class or something. So we'll deal with that. So for now, let's just go ahead and make these different things. So the first one, we need this, and we also need the icon. So this is like, what do we call this? Go back up. So we need home SVG, and I spelled it wrong, of course. And we'll import home SVG. I don't know what home SVC is, but okay. So now we got home SVG. It says home like that. And the thing is that these home keywords are going to be able to be hidden. I'm going to say class name equal to, and maybe I should just call this, because this isn't really a feed menu, is it? Because it's going to go across multiple components, I guess, because whenever you think about it, if we come back in here, this goes across home, explore, profile, yada yada yada. So this isn't necessarily a feed page thing. This is just like the actual Twitter navigation. So maybe what we should do instead is inside of our source and components, we make a new folder. We're going to call this navigation. And I'm going to basically build this in navigation instead. And that means that we're going to change a couple things, but I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to call this navigation.tsx. I'll make a new CSS file, navigation.css. And this is going to break the walkthrough, because I think I already set to make it. Let's see. Feed page. Oh, so I haven't touched this yet, so that's fine. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna copy this feed menu. I'm gonna put it inside of navigation instead. And then I'll change this to navigation and all that good stuff. So this will be navigation. This will be navigation. Then we have our navigation logo. Oops. Navigation logo. We have our navigation logo. We have our navigation. I don't know what I want to call this. We'll say navigation dash container, or no. We'll call this one navigation container, I guess. Really, then this link should probably also be inside the nav. So what we'll do is we'll do this, and we'll call this navigation container. Like that, and then we have navigation, we have a navigation item. We have navigation link. I want to look up how to do CSS on these guys. I don't know if it's difficult or how to do it or anything like that, so we'll have to figure out how to do that. And then this will be navigation text. And I wonder if we can give this a class name. I don't know if we can, but we'll see. And this will be navigation dash icon or something. And now we need to import home SVG again. Like so. Yeah, so we can't have that. Okay. So we're gonna have to look up how to do CSS on these icons, but that shouldn't be that big of an issue, I don't think. And now the feed menus needs to go away, and we can copy this CSS as well for the time being. And then, so instead of feed menu, it'll be navigation. And we definitely want width, height, all that, because again, this is going to end up being dynamic, so we want to fit to the height and width and all that stuff. Pretty sure the logo menu is also fine, so we just called this navigation logo BG. We'll put that in there. Save. Navigation logo, we can copy paste. Navigation logo. And we also have navigation logo BG hover. Now the last thing that we can do is I'm going to get rid of the feed menu folder for now. We'll keep the feed components, so we don't really need the rest of that. And now it's going to be navigation from here. So we're going to import navigation, although we need to make sure it comes to the right place. Navigation, whoops. Navigation from components. And now this will be, come down here, navigation. So now we can pass that navigation around. And what's the error? Let's see. Footer falls outside of, okay. So this needs to get rid of one of these. Nope, failed to compile. Still outside. What about that? Now we cannot find components. Export const navigation. Navigation/navigation cannot resolve feed menu. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Navigation.css. Oh, save. And that should be good now. Cool. I'm gonna put this down here. I'm also gonna put the import down here because we're gonna import a bunch of these components in a second. So, all right, I think we have a basic structure, and this should be back to what it was. So I should be able to sign in, maybe. Okay, that's a bug. Let's see. This might be a bug we need to look into. Let's take a look at the application. But there is a token, so we should be able to go to /home or /feed. Let's see. No routes match /feed. Is it /home? There we go. Okay. And this guy is massive. It says logged in is false, but there's a token in there. I don't know why it hasn't grabbed the user, but we'll have to figure out all of that. So this is obviously way too big. And I guess this already is /home, which is good. Okay. So we need to figure out how to resize SVGs. So I guess that'll be the first thing. Let's see. CSS resize SVG. So this is why I don't do this stuff on stream, or like, this is why I'm doing this on the stream versus, you know, the regular recording. So how to scale SVG, blah, blah, blah. The height and width attributes. Okay, I can just add height and width to this. So we're probably, that's gonna be ugly. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to pass in a property to this SVG probably. I would imagine. Let's see. Where is the CSS for this though? Auto sizing. This is using image, so I don't want to use image. Although I'm curious, can you do that? Can you say IMG? Like, is that a thing? Image source is equal to, like, is that a thing? No, it's not a thing. I was gonna say, there's no way that's a thing. What if I did this? No, that's not a thing either. Okay. So let's go back into the home SVG. SVGs, home SVG. Let's mess with this. So we have our view box. We have a class name, although I don't think we need the class name. What if we said height is equal to 50px and width is equal to 50px? Like, are we gonna be able to just easily throw props in this and call it a day? Yes, we are. Okay, cool. So we're gonna say, although I never know how to do it like this, but can we just say height colon string and let's see, the other one that we want is width. Okay, it does not like that. We have to say props colon that. But normally I don't do my functions like this, but it might work. Props dot height and props dot width. But I wanted this one to be a default because it'll be a little bit easier. So it looks like that might work. Now, can we do like a color? How do we change the color of this? Although I don't think it matters actually, because I think Twitter is just black at this point. Yeah, it's just black icons. So how big are these They're like 25 by 24. 24 by 21. I'm just gonna do like 24 by 24 with some padding or with some margin around it. So let's see. So let's say width. Height is equal to 24px and width is equal to 24px. And save. Hey, that's pretty good, as iDubbbz would say. Alright, cool. So that means that we need to modify all of our SVGs, unfortunately. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go into my walkthrough. And paste it in here. And I'm going to put these SVGs in like a folder or something for people to download, I'm sure. So now icon. I have to do the same thing. Copy this. Go to icon. Well, I don't even see icon. Oh, it's explore. I'm stupid. All right, go to explore. Throw this in here. And then go delete this class. Then we can say height equal to props.height. And width equal to props.width. I could have broken this up, but it's not that big of a deal. Save it and put it into the walkthrough. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of work alone on this. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get enough done to actually make a whole episode out of this by the time I need to make a new icon. Next one is notifications. The notifications SVG. Copy the height and the width out of this again because I'm lazy. Boom. Delete that. Height is equal to height that we set. Props.height. And width is equal to props.width. And this will work out somewhat nicely, I'm sure. Okay, that was our notification. Next we need to do messages. Open up messages. And paste this guy. And we don't need the class name. And the height is equal to height. And the props.height. And the width is props.width. This one's good to go. Put that into our messages. Next, we need to update the lists. So go up to lists, paste, and get rid of this. Height is equal to, whoops, props.height. Width equal to props.width. Okay. Throw that into the walkthrough. Next is communities. Let's grab communities. This is riveting content, I know. But this is the type of stuff that needs to be done. Nothing you really do about it. Height equal to props.height. And width is equal to props.width. And sure, I probably didn't have to do it like this. I probably could have set up a class or something, but I kind of wanted it to be more dynamic and be able to do whatever we want to do with it. I might never use these outside of the navigation, but you never know. Next is verified. So let's see, go to verified, and I'll put it in here. Height is equal to height, props.height, and width is equal to props.width. Save and get rid of verified. And now profile, almost done. This is very like cyberpunky. I dig it. So next is profile. 2 more. Then we can start working on that other thing and figuring out how we're gonna do this. Profile, and then this is gonna be height equal to props.height, and width equal to props.width. Okay, and almost done. So that was profile. Finally, we have more. Uh-oh. Go to more, last one. Paste that. And I scuffed it, of course I did. And okay, get rid of this. Height equal to props.height, and width equal to props.width. Alright, so that's the grunt work finished. Again, unfortunately, sometimes you gotta do that grunt work, and it's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Now we can continue on with our navigation. So our navigation, back to here. So we got this and this. This navigation item is going to need to stack them side by side. So if we go ahead and come back into here, I'll grab .navigation item. .navigation item is going to need to be, let's go ahead and say, let's give it a width 100%. I'm not going to give it a height, although we can probably just say like fit content or something for now. Height will be fit content because we're going to set the width or the height of the font and everything, and then display will be flex, and we're going to say we want it in row, and then we can say I'm not sure if they justify between or if it's just like evenly spaced. I don't know if we need to mess with like how spaced out it is. It just needs to be side by side basically. And we probably do want to go ahead and justify content center and align item center just to be safe. So I'm sure this is probably most likely centered, although actually that's like left aligned. We probably don't want to. Okay, for one, that didn't do quite what I wanted. Is this a block level element? SVG shouldn't be block level, are they? I don't think SVGs are block level. And we have our navigation.css, .navigation item, okay. Oh, it's because it's inside the nav link, I'm stupid. Okay. So the nav link is the one that actually needs this. Guess I shouldn't have deleted that. So this is wrong. So I guess we can still have display flex. We don't really need display flex on this, I guess. We do need width 100% though. Let me move these around a little bit. Now this is where the experimentation comes in. But now, oh, this might also need fit content. I'm not sure. Okay, that's better. But now the issue is that it's not left aligned. So I think we need to get rid of this one. Nope, wrong answer, Ethan. We can probably say flex start on this. Okay, now obviously there's some adding issues and stuff. So now we want it to align basically, I think, with the Twitter logo. But yeah, there's gonna be some padding and stuff on this to get it to look right. And that looks a little bit small, I'm not gonna lie. If we take a look at this one, we might scale it a little bit as well. So maybe we say, let's say 26 by 26. Let's see what that looks like. It looks a little bit on the small side. Looks a little bit better because the navigation text is going to be, we might have to change these links or these icons as well, because some of them disappear whenever it gets really small. So that might be something I have to deal with as well. But what was I doing? I forgot. Oh, I was adding padding. So we need padding on the link, I guess, navigation link. So let's say padding, and Twitter uses 12. That might be a little much. Actually, it looks pretty good. Okay. It also needs a border radius. Although this should probably be on hover. Navigation link colon hover. So this is gonna have a background color of this RGBA. And we might need to add even more padding and stuff, we'll see. And then a border radius, let's say 50%. I could be wrong about this one. Been a while since I've done pure CSS. Okay, yeah, that's too much. So let's say, and the problem is that's way too much. So how many pixels is it tall? We don't know how many pixels it is. So let's try 25%, I guess. I don't really want to put a pixel number on there. Okay, that looks a little bit better, but now it's still way too long. If you take a look at this, the actual thing only goes to here. So I think we don't have a width on the actual link. I don't think we have a width or height on this link. It's still going way too far. It might still be inheriting the width of the parent. Let's say width fit content and see what happens. Okay, that's a little bit better. But the padding is a little bit too much, I think. So if we take a look at this one, yeah, it's not, the padding on the left and right is okay, I think, but the padding on the top and bottom is way too much. And I think that's pretty evident. If we look at this, obviously the home thing needs fixed, but yeah, we need some spacing between it and stuff. So so padding, I forget how to do this. I'm just gonna say padding left 12 pixels. Okay. That looks a little bit better, but still seems like the height is pretty crazy. Height still seems pretty big. We might want padding right still to be 12 pixels. Doesn't seem centered, but I think that's getting better. Obviously this radius isn't enough. I'm gonna try 50 again. Yeah, see, that's too much. What about 30? 30's not enough. $40 is not enough either. This is weird. But it also might help if let's go ahead and do the text. Navigation text. Text decoration. None. Color. Just black, I think. Although we have a color that we could use. I forget what it is though. We go into our... I think we just use 0, but I could be wrong. Let's see. The black isn't quite black. We'll grab that. We haven't used black all that often around here. Still has text decoration. Oh, it's because of the link probably. Right? Yeah, okay. Now obviously it needs some space and stuff. So let's see. We have our text decoration. Our font size is going to be like 20px, I think. Is what Twitter has. Let's check Twitter. Twitter's font size is 20. Yeah. 20 pixels. Let's do a font weight of like, let's see what 400 looks like. That's not close to enough. Let's try 600. Looks a little bit better. Try 700. Okay, that's better. And this isn't quite perfectly aligned, unfortunately. And honestly, this seems a little bit small. I think we can even go up to 22 pixels. Looks a little bit better. So, we might need a padding top. Of like 1 or 2 pixels, because it looks like it's not quite centered. And it might just be the way that this P or the SVG is, but it's fine. And now we need some space between them. So what if we say margin left of 10 pixels or something. Now obviously we're not going to be able to get it perfect. It's probably more than 20 pixels, but how's this looking now? It's still way too tall. The height is still doing something funky. I'm not sure what's going on with this. So the height is massive. For some reason. The height is 60. Got 20 margins for some reason. Margin's not getting reset or something. Okay. That's better. Kind of better. There's three more margin between. I love that my pre-CSS stuff that I tried setting up still doesn't work, but okay. So that's a little bit better. Now we need the padding back to 12 basically. That might make it look a little bit better. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So we still need more margin in between this guy. That might look better. Now, how tall are you now? Okay, that's a lot better. I think that's starting to get there. Obviously the color's throwing us off. I feel like this one is farther out. If I look at Twitter, it looks like there's more space. But it might also just be this whole section is 594. This is 260. Um, 260, 600, 350. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It's probably not that big of a deal. It might also be the fact that it's purple. Might be throwing me as well. If we go into the feed CSS and take off the purple, the blue, the red, might also stop playing tricks on us. I think it looks a little bit better. It might even need a little bit more, honestly. Maybe 20 pixels. Okay, I think that looks good. Now the thing is this guy needs fixed because this looks horrible. If I wanted to cheat, I could probably figure out what this actually is. But I don't want to like steal their CSS, obviously. So it's gonna have to experiment basically. So right now we have a border radius of 45. I tried 25 and it looked pretty gross, but it might work now. The 25 is definitely not enough because this should be all the way. If I try 30 again, I don't want to do a pixel. Well, I guess I know how many pixels tall it's going to be, right? So I should be able to, because I know that this is, so what if we said 25px? What does this look like? That's pretty damn close to what we want. We might want more like 20. Let's try 27. I think it was 54. I think that's about what we're looking for. I think that looks pretty dang good. Now the thing is, we can go ahead and just do all of these like this. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So now we can copy this. Let me open up Twitter again. Copy this guy. And the next one is explore. SVG. And then this one's gonna say explore. And the height should stay the same no matter what. height shouldn't be an issue. Except this icon is slightly different, so now it's a little bit broken, so that's terrific. So we might have to do custom CSS for all of this. Okay, well, we'll deal with that. Next one is notifications. Oh yeah, shoot. And we have to figure out if it's gonna be bold or not bold. So I guess we're gonna say navigation text, and we're gonna say, we're gonna have like a navigation. We'll say navigation text dash active. So this means that we need a prop. So active is going to have how do we want to do this? I'm going to say navigation dash active. And what's going to happen is this is going to be like 400, and we'll have a 700. And hopefully that works. Or actually, we might be able to just get rid of the font weight altogether, because I think 400 is about... And now I scuffed this. Because this needs navigation text, and it needs active. And I'm thinking what we do, and it didn't work. Why? Navigation text and active. That's because it's called navigation active. That's why it didn't work. Makes sense. And we can dynamically set that. Now, that's still not quite thin enough, I don't think. I think it needs to be a little bit thinner than that. So I guess what we'll do is dot navigation dash inactive. And then this will be font dash weight of like, let's try 400. And if it doesn't look good, then we can always change it. There, that looks better. Looks dang good, actually. We're gonna have to deal with... That might be... Well, no, I think that's okay. Cool. Now we keep going. Next one is notifications. So, now... Notifications... Notification... And honestly... there might have been these in Material UI, but whatever. Make sure this one looks okay. Notifications. Although that one looks okay now, I think it's fine. And obviously we're going to have to set up the dynamic part, but I'll do that later. Next one is messages. So once we got that grunt work done, this part's not too bad. And we'll also need to figure out, we're going to probably add another class to this, like is hidden or not, is hidden or something like that, to decide how this is going to work. But so messages, SVG. Again, that message is sharp might have been the same exact thing. And then we need lists. List SVG. Okay. We're getting somewhere, people. The not fun part's going to be doing the other stuff, but we'll get to that. I said other stuff. Doing the not fun part will be doing, I can't think now. Doing the reactive part or the mobile part. The responsive part. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, after lists is communities. This is only like part of it though. There's still a tweet button and also the handle stuff, so we'll have to deal with that too. So this one is communities. Hopefully this all fits the way that I want it to. Communities SVG. Next one is verified. This is also verified there, so I'm wondering if they're the same and I was just stupid, but whenever I was trying to get Material UI to load the other day, it wasn't searching anything, so I gave up. Next one is profile. And profile. And then more. More SVG. And more. And let's take a look. Voila. It is. I am a little bit concerned. Well, I guess there's a little bit not perfectly lined up. But we might need to make these slightly smaller. Because it is kind of big. So I guess we will put the CSS back down to like 20. Because we're going to need the extra space. Okay, that looks pretty good. Look at them side by side, they look pretty dang good. So here's real Twitter. Right? Obviously it's going to be slightly different, but it's something. So now what we need to do is we need this tweet button. And I think this part looks like it's part of the actual nav itself. And what does this do? It pops up a modal. Why the heck? Why does Twitter love its modals? And then this one just pops up a little icon. Okay. I don't know where we're gonna get this ... from. But we could either probably do a bunch of dots. We could probably just cheat and do some ... dots. I wonder if that's what they did. Oh, it's an SVG. But I mean, I could probably cheat a little bit and just do like ... or something. It's probably fine. Hopefully the music's not too loud or anything like that. Hopefully it's just a slow day today, because anyway, if we go back in now, so I guess we'll need to also worry about adding the notification icon, but I think we'll do that later. I'm not that concerned about it, so let's deal with this tweet button. So this tweet button is how big? How big are you? 200 by 52. So it's I think just the size of this whole thing. Well, it's actually a little bit smaller. Interesting. Slightly smaller. And it's actually a link. I'm not doing a link, I'm gonna do a button. But the important thing is it's 52 high. I think what they actually did is they did a, looks like they did 17 and then they did like a bunch of padding on it, more or less. So let's do that. Let's do the button. And then we'll figure out what we want to do from there. So navigation. So I think I'm going to keep it inside the nav. And then outside the nav we'll do the last part, because that part looks like it's outside. So a button with a class name equal to navigation dash post dash button. I'm not going to call it tweets. And this is going to say post, I guess. So I'll just do a p tag, and it'll be. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can just probably say post. I don't really want to say tweet. So, okay. So, now I need to do some magic. So navigation post button. Let's see. So the width, and we can get rid of that. Navigation.css. So let's see. Navigation post button. The font size inside this is like 17 pixels. And let's do a font weight of like 600. I'll also say color is equal to this. I might as well add the might as well add the margin, padding, and all of that stuff as well. Right now, it's not going to look very good. So it needs some margin left of like 12. To be lined up with the rest of these. Okay. And the width isn't 100% because if we did 100%, it's gonna be too wide, which we could differentiate a little bit away from Twitter and make it a little bit wider. And I don't see that being an issue probably. We could do that. Sure, we could do that. So our border is definitely going to be none. Our border radius. Let's see. Let's add our padding in here. And see if adding that padding makes it about the right size. How tall are you? 46, huh? So it's not quite as big as we wanted it to be. So I guess we can still do height equal to 56. Because the height of the other one is about 56. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Oh, it's 50. Never mind. Height is 50. Not 56. Doesn't have to be the exact same as Twitter, but I'd kind of like it to be close. So that means our border radius will be 25 px. And does Twitter have a hover effect? Out here. It does have a hover effect. So I'm guessing what we want to do is basically I'm gonna grab the hex to RGB on this. I'm gonna grab the Twitter blue hex, which is inside of our app.tsx. This color. I'm gonna throw it in there, and we're gonna do this. So we're gonna do ARGB on this. So our navigation.css. The background color is going to be RGB, and it's going to be this. And I'm guessing Twitter uses white. Yeah, they do. So the color will be white, except I'll use the Twitter white. So instead of black, I should be trying a lot harder to actually use the correct colors. But oh well. Now the question is it thick enough? Here's what this one looks like. Yeah, I think it's thick enough. This one is definitely longer somehow. I think we do need to make the logo slightly smaller. I think that will help a little bit. Get this like 48 by 48. That's probably gonna break some things. Oh no. Just trying to make sure that this all fits, and this is probably needs some space above it as well, because look how close that's like touching. Although these probably are touching too, but I highly doubt that one's like touching. Yeah, there's some space there, so we need like some more padding or some more margin. We're running out of space. Not good. Make this like, this is 26. What if we say what if we say 42? It's kind of small now. I think it needs to be 48 at least. Make it look decent. That just means that this needs a margin top. Maybe like 6px. Looks better. It's definitely got less space than what Twitter has, but oh well. It's not going to be an exact clone. No, and it was never going to be an exact clone. If I want to, I could probably bring the padding down to 10 to save a little bit of space. Where's the other one with padding? I can probably save a little bit of space like that. Probably still look fine. Yeah, I think that still looks fine. Okay. So this needs a hover effect. So this needs to be cursor pointer. And we need a dot navigation post button. Colon hover. And it's going to be basically the same, except the background color is going to be RGBA. We're going to go like 0.8. It's going to be a little bit darker. See if you can even notice it. Ooh. Although let's go in the wrong direction. Because this background is white. Let's see, X color shade generator. We need like a slightly darker color. Let's see here. Let's try 10% tinted. I guess we didn't need to use RGBA. How does this look? Looks pretty good. I do think it's still probably slightly too wide. I think it's supposed to be as wide as like communities, but I think it adds a little bit of charm. So I think that's probably okay to keep it like this. Probably fine. Alright. Now obviously these all need to go somewhere, but I'm not that concerned about that at this moment. My other thing is how do these work? So we have this home page. Okay, so these all do change. Whenever we do like the feed or whatever, we're gonna have to deal with these differently. Okay, kind of stinks. The side is different. Ooh, that's gonna be. But it looks like we can basically just change these to different. Okay, that shouldn't be that bad. So the last thing that we have to do is this little icon down here. Which is supposed to be wider. Although this is. So we're gonna have to take a look at like how this changes whenever we make it wider and smaller. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because this stays like this. So I guess we could hard code the width of this just to make it look slightly different. And also we could basically say fit content on this since it stays on this page no matter what. And has the scroll bar. I'm not sure how we do this custom scroll bar. You can look that up. So they have this width as like 167, and it has some odd change because of adding and stuff. We could do like 170 maybe, just because it is supposed to look slightly different. So our width, what if we say 165 px? That might look okay. Way too small now. Am I going crazy? Or is it two? Oh, it's actually 233. Let's say 235, I guess. I'm gonna say it looks way small. 235. Okay, and that's still slightly smaller than the full size. Because the next part would be to go into navigation, and outside the nav, I'm going to say navigation dash settings or something. We're going to have a div, and I don't know what I'm going to call this. We need to design this part. This is like, what is the purpose of this? We have this mode. This is like, I don't even know what to call this. It's not profile. It's like navigation. What do I want to call this? Not settings. I don't know what to call this. Oh, let's call it like navigation dash. I'm about to do this pop-up at some point. I have no clue how to do this pop-up. But this is why I plan everything out. I'm gonna call it navigation dash options. Not a very good descriptor, but that's the best I can do. Navigation dash options. All right, so this has 3 things in it. It's got a profile picture on the left side. So it'll say IMG Last name equal to navigation dash profile dash picture, which we'll have to get from somewhere. Source is going to be equal to, and let's just grab a plain old generic profile picture. Like this one. Copy image address. Okay, and then we have another div with, say, class name equal to navigation dash options dash info, and this has the handle of the user. Right, so it has the username. So I have a p tag. Is equal to navigation dash options dash info dash and this will be username, and then, or actually this would be like display name, and then we have a p, the class name equal to navigation dash options dash info dash handle. Alright, and for now I'm just gonna hard code this. Unknown coder and at unknown coder. What we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to get the user's information, and I need to go back and take a look, because if you take a look at this Twitter clone, our console is missing stuff. The object says logged in is undefined, yada yada yada, which logged in should be set to true there. It says user returned to the website but is logged in, need to store the token into the user slice, but it doesn't look like the user slice has anything in it. So if we go into here, where's our actual state at? So user is empty right now. It has a token. We don't have any information about the user right now. So for some reason that's not getting set when we hit the home page. So I need to add that in here. So we'll say user is not being set when we hit the home page with a user in the user token in the store, or in the what's it called, local storage. Then also user is not being redirected, excuse me, when they hit the login screen, the user token in local storage. So I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure there's a way for us to get a user out of here. If I come back into our controllers, user controller, let's see, verify identity, which returns a user, and this just takes in the token and gets the username from the token, returns the user. But basically what we'll need to do is we'll need to call this get mapping, and that should get the information that we need. So we'll have to deal with that in a little bit, but I just want to kind of get this CSS done and kind of get all this figured out first, but then we'll deal with that later on. So now if we come back into our fake Twitter, we'll deal with this later. So now we have our profile picture, way too big. We have unknown coder, right? We got 15 minutes left. Let's see if we can finish up designing the CSS, and eventually this will actually come from state. It's not going to be a prop, so that's probably fine like that for now. So let's see. the first thing is navigation options should be, how tall is it? So navigation options should be about 65 pixels tall after padding and everything. So let's say 50 pixels tall with, that'd be, so it'd be 40 pixels tall with 12 padding around it. So we can do that. So navigation.css. Navigation options, we're gonna say width is 100% of the parent. Height is 40 px. And it could probably actually be like 36. But we're gonna have a padding of 12. Okay, and this probably won't work yet because this picture is way too big. So how big is this profile picture? 40 by 40. Okay. As soon as we fix this navigation, also navigation option should have a display of flex, align item center, and justify content flex start. Okay, so option dash, and what did I call this? Profile picture or something? I'm gonna call this PFP just to make it a little bit simpler. It should be navigation options dash PSP. Okay. Navigation options PFP. Width is going to be 100% or 40 px. Height is going to be 40 px. Border radius is going to be 100%. And what is it? Fits. I forget. Is it object fit? Is going to be cover, I think. Okay. So not quite where we want to be at, but we're getting something at least. Make this smaller. Okay, what's going on with this? So here is this guy. 200 by 40. The padding is not doing anything. Padding 12 px. Alright, let's go 60 then. Still a little bit, this part's still a little bit big, but it's getting there. So now we're going to do this. So navigation options info. Well, I'll copy all of these. This is also going to have, well, I guess this part doesn't need flex, right? Because those are already block level elements. So, but I'm going to say margin 0 and padding 0 on these. And this should help out a little bit. This should help us out there. Okay, and let's see. So basically we want the same kind of like border and everything. So this one was 60, I think. So we want like a border radius of like 30 px. And we want to .navigation dash options hover. And we want the background color of this. And I'll also grab this real quick. Make sure we keep the border radius of 30. Okay, looks good. Now obviously we just need to fix it up a little bit, and it needs some margin on the top. And we'll have to fix this part. I mean, ooh, we have list twice. That's probably part of the reason why it looks weird. That's part of the reason why it looks so big, I'm sure. Oh yeah, it looks a lot better. Now we need some margin on the top of our options. Maybe like, say 6 pixels. Cool. There's that. Now obviously we need some like margin left and right on this. So if we, I don't think we want space between. Yeah, because actually there's another one. We actually need another one, like a ... or something. So like we need this, and then we need another like p tag here, which we don't have to use a p tag. It probably won't actually work, so we might want the material UI icon or some sort of icon here. But let's say we're gonna be silly with this, so we're gonna say navigation option / dot and copy this. Now if we take a look at it, there should be a ... there. Yep. So let's go ahead and space evenly. Actually, let's see what that looks like. What does space evenly look like? Although isn't... Let's look what real Twitter looks like. I'm pretty sure real Twitter... Well, actually, I think that's about what real Twitter does. We might even be able to do space between. Kind of even space these out even more, because this isn't very much space on that part. Space between might look slightly better. Yeah, I think I like that better. It might not be exactly what Twitter does, but I think that it looks a little bit better this way. And obviously I'll have to do some work on this and everything. But this should also have a cursor pointer. You know, you can click on it. That, okay. So I think that the profile picture is probably fine at this point. Right? So I think the profile picture is okay. Now I need to figure out how we're going to do the rest of this. So this is like a 15 fonts. Let's deal with this part. And it seems like it's bigger. It's not. So let's deal with this. So this top one's 15 font with a little bit extra weight. The display name will say font size is 15px, and color, I'm gonna grab the black that we've been using, the actual Twitter black. And we'll see how this looks. Okay, so we need to add some font weight to it then. Font weight, let's say like 700. That might be way too thick, boy. Although I kind of dig that. I think that might be about right, actually. It's a little bit spaced differently, and we might have to do some custom spacing. I I don't think I can go any thicker than this though. I can try 800, but I don't know if it will go up to 800. Okay, now the other font is what size? Also 15, it's just thinner and lighter. So color is going to be a lighter gray color. Well, not light gray, but it's going to be a gray color. Like maybe this one. And I won't touch the font weight. Font weight should definitely be thinner than that. So let's try that, bring it down. And that looks better. Now before I hop off, let's deal with these little ellipses. Dot navigation dash options dash dot. Let's see, once we add margin 0, padding 0 to this. Nothing. Okay. So I want a margin bottom. And this is going to be jank AF, but whatever, I don't care. Make sure this is spelled right. We're going to say margin bottom. Let's say 10px, see what this looks like. Looks pretty good. And let's say font size of 15, and let's make this a thick boy. What does this look like? You know, that might not be too bad. Let's try 18. Whoops, my bad. Let's try 18 pixels. Ooh, I liked that. I like that a lot, actually. And we can readjust some of these sizes again. The only thing is that really what we should actually do is probably get rid of the space evenly or space between. And we can probably add the flex start back, justify content, flex start. Although I don't actually think it's flex start though. Well, maybe it is. There's just padding there. Yeah, and then what we could do is we can just add our margin. So let's say we'll just add it to this one. I guess we didn't really need this part other than to group them together. So I'm gonna say, well, I guess I could put the margin on this, right? I can at least make this somewhat. So margin dash left. Let's try like 10 pixels or something. This is still slightly different, but you're never gonna get it perfect. I think that's about good. Maybe we do like 12. And then margin right will be interesting. Let's see what 40 pixels looks like. Now the problem with this is going to be as you get longer names, it's going to be an issue. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I think that looks pretty good. And we could probably make these slightly bigger again now that I got rid of the lists. the two lists. So it was, where was this at? Click the padding down. We can go back to 12 here. There's padding of 12 somewhere else. We can probably bring this back up to 50. We can bring this back up to, that might be the same size already, but I thought it was like 28 or 30. We can bring this up a little bit bigger. There should be another padding in here. There it is. We bring all our paddings back up to 12. There, that's probably about the size of what Twitter actually does. And this should be like 1 VH probably. And if it doesn't fit, we have a scroll, but whatever. I think that's not too bad for a morning's work. We more or less got the entire bar done. Now we need to, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in here. So now 13, create the navigation component in the components folder, navigation.tsx. All right, and then we'll also say step 14 is to create the CSS for the navigation. The navigation.css. Throw that in there. Copy and paste that. So now what I want to work on the next time, and I could work on this off camera, I don't know, is next set up user redirection from the login screen when there is a token. So apparently that's broken. Then also next set up getting the user info from the server when they hit the home screen. So apparently that's not doing that, and I want to double check this one last time. So I am going to go back to the slash page, and right now, and I need to hop off it really quick, but if I sign in, I need to fix this line too, but it is what it is. So it's like unknown coder 1234. Next. This is a little bit broken, but password. And log in. It kicked him back here. Has this information. If I go to /home, all this information's gone. So we need to debug this basically. Figure out what the heck's going on, why it's breaking, and all of that stuff. So that's what I want to look into the next episode, and probably this navigation bar will be one episode that I upload like in the next week or whatever. But yeah, that's all I've got. So thank you for whoever tuned in. Thank you if you watched this point in the VOD. I should be able to upload this straight to YouTube, so it should be available here in the next couple hours, but I gotta hop off to get ready for work. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next live stream or fake Twitter video.